Good evening and welcome to the Cat Patrol introductory meeting. This is the third one we've done over the last 3 months for membership to educate you on the new tool for handicap review here at Spring Lake Country Club. My name is Dave Klein, and for those of you who don't know me, I've been a member at Spring Lake since 2006. I was elected to the Board of Governors in 2022, and I was assigned the role of Handicap Committee Chair in late 2023. Unfortunately, I'm not able to be there live tonight due to a work commitment, but I thought I'd share a video to help Josh and the remainder of the Handicap Committee communicate Cat Patrol and then allow them to take questions. The remainder of the Handicap Committee, all volunteering their time for the good of the game: Michelle Yasnik, Tyler Berg, Brandon Brown, and Mark Miller. You can reach out to any of us at any time with any questions you may have on Cat Patrol or the Spring Lake Country Club handicap policy. The World Handicap System's purpose is to enhance the enjoyment of the game of golf and to allow as many players as possible to compete or play a casual round with anyone else on a fair and equal basis. The SLCC Handicap Committee is responsible for ensuring compliance with SLCC specified obligations and responsibilities under the rules of handicapping. Simply put, our role is to protect the integrity of play at Spring Lake Country Club for the enjoyment of the game for the entire membership. The World Handicap System recommends the practice of peer review as a means of promoting fair and honest play. I show a reference here to Rule 4.4, referencing peer review. Peer review is the first, preferred, and the best method to protect the integrity of the game. Every playing SLCC member has peer review responsibility, and I really hope you take that seriously. Adding Cat Patrol for the SLC membership enhances the peer review process. Cat Patrol accesses the data from our SLC T-Sheet software, known as Jonas, and the Golf Handicap Information Network, known as GIN, to provide information to all of us during the peer review process. They're going to communicate each night, and if you're on the T-Sheet and you posted a score, it's going to do something. If you're on the T-Sheet and you didn't post a score, it's also going to do something, and I'll tell you what that is here in a second. So you play around with your friends, you post your scores. The day after you posted a score, you're going to get an email that looks like this, and all the players in your group will get it as well, according to the T-Sheet. And so you can conduct your peer review process. If necessary, if you see something here that you don't like, you can anonymously post the score or dispute the score. Or you could also talk to your friends and say, hey, you didn't post the score that I thought you shot. That'd be great. The letters are going to look like something like this. In all transparency, Cat Patrol is working fantastic out of the gate. The data is great. It's thorough. It's easy to understand. We have had some issues with the Jonas T-Sheet software and Cat Patrol. So we're having kind of a mixed experience there. So if you're getting anything strange or you're not getting something you think you should, please reach out to us because we can use that information to go to Cat Patrol to help troubleshoot and fix to ensure that they are communicating appropriately. But we are confident in the data. If you're on the T-Sheet and 2 days go by and you haven't posted a score, you're going to get a remember to post email. It's going to look like this. And if you don't believe you should post a score, maybe you played a scramble with your spouse. Maybe you played a solo by yourself where you would not post a score. The Pro Shop's going to try and catch a lot of that stuff and not send emails to you. But if you happen to get one and you want to dispute that it's a non-postable score, you have the ability to check that box right down here. If after 3 days being on the T-Sheet, you haven't posted a score and or have not declared the score as non-postable, then the remaining players, excuse me, in your group will receive an email like this saying that Dave didn't post a score. And again, hoping the peer review process, you would reach out and say, hey, post your score. The letters are going to look something like that. Towards the end of each month, in time for an appeals process to take place and be ruled upon, I'll explain that in a second. The handicap committee will pull the data out of Cap Patrol. That's a report that they run. It's automatic, it's easy to read, easy to understand, and it will make a recommendation on if an adjustment should be made and for which members. If you happen to be, if the handicap chooses to act and you get a letter, it's going to look something like this. It's much longer than this. This is just a snippet, a portion of it. It's very thorough in explaining the why, and we'll share with you your data with why you're being adjusted based on the Cap Patrol software and the 43 attributes they look at. Please note, if you receive an adjustment letter, that doesn't mean you're a sandbagger, doesn't mean you're a cheater. It merely means you have demonstrated a potential to play better or lower than what your current handicap index is. As I mentioned before, we have an appeals process. If a member desires to appeal the decision that the handicap committee has made, then the process is as follows. Within 3 days of receiving that email from the handicap committee, respond back or send an email to us stating why you are appealing the adjustment. Don't send it to Josh or Kevin. They're not on the handicap committee. The handicap committee will review that appeal. A majority rule of the 5 of us will decide the appeal, and we will email you back with our response within 3 days. Again, all appeals are final, and our goal is to have enough time to do all of this. So on the 1st of every month, everyone knows what index they're playing to, if there were any adjustments that took place. So in summary, Cap Patrol is for the SLC membership. It enhances peer review significantly and hopefully will improve the enjoyment of the game for everyone at SLCC. Since I couldn't be there live tonight, I wanted to answer a few questions that that bubbled to the surface over the last couple months that we've rolled this out. First question being, will the handicap adjustments be visible? Are we going to make them public? No, we're not. If you choose to tell people that you've been adjusted, that's on you. Somebody would have to go way out of the way to figure it out. They would have to know what your playing index is in a tournament and do the math backwards because it's usually 90% handicap or something like that. And they'd have to go into GIN and see that there's a difference. So it is feasible for someone to figure it out, but it will not be publicized by the handicap committee, the pro shop, or our general manager. Second question, does Cap Patrol require me to post hole by hole? No, it does not. But the USGA recommends posting hole by hole. And as Josh either explained earlier or explained next, if you play only 10 to 17 holes and get called off for either weather or for some other reason, you have to post hole by hole so that the GIN software can extrapolate that out to an 18-hole round. Again, Cap Patrol does not require it, doesn't use it, but the USGA recommends it. Third question is, what is the criteria for playing the silver tees in an SLCC event? There's three criteria, 2 of which are the same and 1 which is added this year. First one being, you got to be a minimum age of 65. Your age plus course handicap from the gold tees must be equal to or greater than 80. And then finally, what we added this year, if members want to compete from the silver tees, we ask that you play half your matches at least from the silver tees. Unfortunately, the USGA does not have a criteria for playing different tees. They believe that's included in part of the index, or course handicap. And many clubs do have rules, similar criteria, I should say, like we do. And this is our criteria. We aligned on this earlier this year. So I hope that answers at least a couple of your questions. Hopefully all of this answers all your questions, but if you have any more questions, I'm going to turn over to Josh and the handicap committee members there who can help answer any other questions you have. Thank you for being a great member of Spring Lake Country Club. We'll see you on the course. Take care.